For the first time, AKAPAD, we're doing a series on this podcast, the Film Buff Podcast. 1,100, 1,200 episodes deep. We haven't done a dedicated series that's branded the way that we're doing this one. And it's baseball. Hopefully you like baseball. Hopefully you're into baseball season. But if you're not, I try and discuss what this game means to Americana, to the filmmakers, and how they wedge it all into a movie with success, sometimes with a masterpiece, and sometimes with something we just like to watch. AKA Padders, it's the Film Buff Baseball Movie Series. Let's go. AKA Padders. We got a big one today. We got one of my absolute most favorite movies. And we got some points to make that I don't think are breached or observations stated anymore about the 1989 Field of Dreams, which is in a way a sequel to a 1988 movie called 8 Men Out. These two movies, I don't know enough about the production of both of them. So I don't know what they've said about each other, what some of the interviews revealed, or the postmodern critiques or anything. We will comfortably say that 8 Men Out has not resonated as much as Field of Dreams. And Field of Dreams, our girl, just won an Oscar for playing Amy Madigan, the wife too of a wonderful filmmaker, the director of Pollock, Ed Harris, also one of the best actors of his generation. She won an Oscar for playing a witch. I just need to move on from that fact. Kevin Costner, Field of Dreams. We know this movie. I mean, how many times has ESPN, let's just say during the heyday of SportsCenter, used clips from this movie? And there's something that happens when we watch this film. We realize that everything is literal. There's no allegory. There's no metaphor. This film plays it straight all the way through. It's a modern day fairy tale. And a lot of times when filmmakers, and we've talked about this, when a filmmaker says, I'm making a fairy tale, or The Lady in the Water, M. Night Shyamalan, a modern day fairy tale, right? Like that becomes part of the subtext in the marketing of a lot of movies. Whenever you see that, that's a little bit of a red herring that you might get a problematic film. Not saying these films aren't good or entertaining. I just always felt that filmmakers never achieve making a fairy tale or a myth for the first time audiences are able to see it for film, meaning it doesn't exist anywhere else. But Field of Dreams achieves that. And for me, Field of Dreams is a part of a sequel to 8 Men Out. It's a part of a Kevin Costner baseball trilogy, Field of Dreams, Bull Durham, and the highly underrated Love of the Game. And we're going to be talking about all of those coming up. And then it's also a part of another side subject, side topic that for me has resonated with. The older we get, the more we have to deal with passing and death and just truth and reconciliation. Things that we sometimes, even when they are reconciled, we feel that they're not. But
quiet on the set.
Camera speed, sound production, take one.
Action! Star Trek 2. These are movies that deal with the passing of time, the individual, and how they're caught up in time. I mean, some of it's more explicit, some of it's more in your face, like in Wrath of Khan. It's there within the first couple minutes of the movie. Here, the passing of time with Kevin Costner and his father, time didn't heal all of those wounds, and there is something to be settled. That's Field of Dreams. And Hook, we lost our youth. We have to rediscover our youth in adulthood. Peter Pan needs to fly. So this movie is also, in my view, it's like a nucleus of the 80s and the 90s. And it coming out in 1989, to what I view the 90s as the absolute cultural center of America. I think everything collided into the 90s and didn't survive. When it comes to sports, the best athletes that we've ever had, the best leagues we've ever had, some of the best championships we've ever had, 90s. Some of the best films, some of the best blockbusters, some of the expansion of Hollywood going into the independents. We got studios making high and low movies, feeding their talent pool, discovering new talent, unlike any other time before in the 90s. We've had this explosion in animation with parallels, CGI and cell animation. We had Disney and Pixar making some of their best movies in the 90s, and their competitors keeping up. Syndication, network television, Seinfeld, Friends, the best that we've ever seen came out of the 90s. And Field of Dreams, it's like somewhat, as Kevin Costner does in this movie, like crosses over. So when I made the list of movies to discuss baseball and linking all of this to the point I was making earlier, in my later years, I have grown to appreciate this game more than anything else. And some of it might be a blowback from the National Football League, where I'm just a little bit jaded with the state of the NFL. And I can look at baseball, the diamond, the same measurements that go all the way back 200 years. Arthur Doubleday, right? The height of the mound. They've done things to speed up the game. They want the game to be 2 hours. We had controversy about that 2 years ago. But relatively, even if you want to say juicing the ball, juicing the bats, all of it, it's still the same game. The game is the same rules, and everyone can play it, and it's there to play. Field of Dreams is about the spirit of the game and how the game affects us, and how when we dedicate our lives to it, it transforms us. And that's the part of the allegory. If there is one allegorical thread in this, it's that we can all have our own separate field of dreams, meaning we can fall into things and let them transform us and let them enlighten us, and in a way let them build a pathway to our relatives. Field of Dreams, I was recently watching this, and it gave me this idea too. My father loved Star Trek, and he wasn't a Trekkie. He didn't follow news or movie news, or to him, a new movie was coming out when he went to the movies. He went to the theater and would see a poster or would see a trailer and say, "There's Star Trek 3 coming. They made a new Star Trek." He didn't fall into subjects like my generation did, or even like me. But maybe to get a little bit closer to him, maybe I should do more Star Trek for a film buff, or do some Star Trek episodes. I believe his birthday too, my father's birthday, might be Star Trek Day. How they do like Alien Day, and I think there's even a RoboCop Day. We're done when RoboCop Day gets viral every year. But yeah, AKA Powders, Field of Dreams is an absolute masterpiece. It's a movie that every time I watch it, I'm happy to be watching it. I'm happy to be there. I love James Earl Jones's character, where he's somewhat of a recluse. He's somewhat of a, maybe not so much of a Hunter S. Thompson. He's more of a J.D. Salinger. Wrote some things, inspired some people, and then couldn't deal with it, had to disappear, and he needs to come back to center and find himself. The shot of all the cars lined up at the end to watch the game, the whole moment where the little girl can see the players and what his brother-in-law can't, and how Burt Lancaster, I forget his character, he's not Shoeless Joe, but Burt Lancaster needs to help the girl, and if he walks out of the field, he disappears. He can't come back. It's like he forfeits, and he sacrifices being a doctor rather than being a player. And that scene there is just there. What makes a movie great is it's multifaceted, it's multi-layered, and you have to be aggressive to watch it more than one time. I mean, recently we were talking about American Gangster. I watched American Gangster, and it just blew my mind to how exact and good and perfect of a movie that is on all levels. The only thing you can do is just watch it. It's hard to even talk about. Field of Dreams is that. Upcoming, we have The Natural. The Natural is like that, aka Powders. It's hard to imagine any changes, any shifts in that movie. Getting into the budget, this movie cost $15 million. It made $90 million. These are the types of profit margins and turnarounds that make Hollywood studios. Ray Liotta, too, is in this movie. He plays Shoeless Joe Jackson. And the way that this movie is related to 8 Men Out, written and directed by John Sayles, we will discuss that movie. 8 Men Out is this blemish that the Major League Baseball, MLB, still deals with today. It's somewhat of their one true bullet wound. They did survive the steroid era, but that is again a different time, and it's hard to make those arguments long term without knowing, like what the outcome is. But the team, this White Sox, right? Black Sox, the Black Sox of 1919. That team scarred the league and the game that people love so much that there is something to be reconciled. And Kevin Costner's father is that. So this is where we get into like a little bit of a fairy tale where, we just have to accept things and move forward, meaning these two things are related. We have to move forward. Kevin Costner's father, Kevin Costner's relationship with his father, and his father's relationship with this team all matters. And we get that at the end when the father appears. But we get to see this team and the downfall of the team in 8 Men Out. We can watch 8 Men Out and watch Field of Dreams, or vice versa. And we get this giant, epic, complete story. It's amazing to me that these movies came out a year apart. And for whatever reason, people don't group these two movies together anymore. But AKA Padders, I love the game of baseball. I'm so excited for this year. I'm so excited to be at the park with the Phils. Win, lose, I don't care. I just want to go. And, we're already talking about opening day. And that's, it's today. So maybe I'll be there. I love you guys. Rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.